2.
Today I'm here with Katherine Thompson, who's the development director of Grace Cathedral. She's actually the mastermind behind this whole video series. When we were in the middle of COVID, she said, you know, Malcolm, if you do a weekly message, it'll help give people comfort and it'll help people connect to the cathedral. So I'm so grateful. It's like totally changed my life doing these programs, and you're the one who invented them.
Oh, that's good, because sometimes it's a lot of work to do this week after week, so I'm sorry about that part.
Yeah, I guess that's right. Like thousands of hours of my life have been dedicated to your project.
Yeah, but we've reached so many people.
Oh, I mean, so great.
And there have been so many different voices, either as moderators or as guests, so it's really cool.
Yeah. I want you to tell me like what your first impression of Grace Cathedral was, and then how did you come to have what your settled impression of it was?
Right. Well, this is kind of personal, so I'm not sure if this is going to get into the video or not.
We'll cut it if it's bad.
Yeah. I used to live in the neighborhood when I was in my early 20s, like about 2 blocks away, down the hill. And so, of course, I'd come running and walking by, and I knew the cathedral well. But it always seemed so intimidating, imposing, and I never came inside until many years later. So my first impression was like, wow, that place looks incredibly fancy, and I'm glad it's there, but it's not necessarily where I'm going to be going. So
you know,
that's my first
we
impression.
talk about that just because being on the top of Nob Hill too just has a kind of, it's like a symbolic value that kind of keeps people away sometimes.
Right.
So then, like, now you have a different impression.
Yes.
That all these years later, no, what is that impression like? What do you feel like when you walk in through the doors?
Oh, well, I feel Grace's love when I'm here.
I love that.
And it's so exciting to come to work every day and know I can spot the spire from where I drive on Marina Boulevard. And I know it's there. I know the intersections to look for it. And then I'm just getting closer and closer. And it's just like, it's a wonderful thing to come to work here. And I feel like what this place is so much more textured and warm than the big, beautiful, gray building on Nob Hill could ever convey. But you have to be able to take a couple of steps or have someone pull you in. I think some of us do in order to feel that.
Well, I think yoga does that, sound bath. There's so many different ways that people kind of get involved in the life of the cathedral. So I do these every week, and say, like, imagine this. Imagine that God would answer whatever question I had. Do you have any kind of theological question that you think you'd love to hear addressed, in a program like this?
Yeah. Well, I think a lot about forgiveness, and I know you talk to people about forgiveness a lot, and I just wonder, like, what's the theological basis for forgiveness?
That's right. Well, in a way, it's about being able to leave the past in the past. Do you mean that so that the past doesn't control everything that happens to us in the future? And that God kind of gives us that as a gift, an ability to just not let what we've done or what's happened to us, determine what our future is. And in a way, that's the short version of what grace is. Like, grace is that exact thing.
Yeah, I know. I think what I've learned about Christianity in the last 10 years, especially, is it's about renewal, and like every day is a chance to do better or be better or think better. It's not even every day, it's every moment is a choice for that.
So true. You raise millions of dollars for the cathedral every single day, not day, but year. If you did it every single day, then you could get your work done in a couple weeks. 1 week you could finish all your work. But I wonder if you can, like, what advice do you have for people who, want to know what that's like, or wanted to be able to ask, for others for gifts of generosity, or what have you learned in doing that? What advice do you have to share for people?
Well, I've learned so many good things from it, and I've learned from a lot of great people that we get to be around. But it's like such a privilege to be able to give yourself and to ask other people to give for a cause that is essential or meaningful or has a great impact. And I feel like once I really started to understand what philanthropy was, like that giving spirit, and how transformative it is from inside of you and out into the world, I just don't think there's any better feeling. I mean, it is just one of the most amazing ways of being generous.
Yeah, and in this case, it's like joining a group of people that's not just like a group of people sitting around a conference room table. It's joining a group of people who've been involved for generations. Even look at the little medallion that's on the floor here, it's in memory of a donor. I mean, when we give, we become part of that person's team. I mean, it's like the saints through the generations. And each time Grace Church started, it was like a little thing, and then it grew. The next Grace Church was bigger, and the next church grew. And so many people of goodwill have helped us because they believe in that mission. They want God's love to be felt by all people.
Right.
We don't have very much time, but I would love it if you could tell me one just like beautiful memory of something that happened at Grace Cathedral.
Oh, that's so hard.
I know there's. How can you name?
Yeah. Well, we have this gala every year, and they're really fun. And there's this sense of awe when you come into the room, especially the first few years when this incredible committee was beginning to do it. And one year, it was probably like fifth or sixth carnival, we revealed aerial dancers dancing in, right up there, and crawling up the pillars, and people were gasping. And I just thought, wow, the power of this space is just, I knew people would think it would be cool, but gasping at a gala, like, all right, Grace Cathedral, that's fun. Yeah.
Well, I'm so grateful for all that you do around here, and you're just a wonderful partner in ministry, and just a huge gift to me.
Yeah.
And again, this is Katherine Thompson, and I'm Malcolm Clemens Young. I'm the Dean of Grace Cathedral here in San Francisco, California. Thanks for watching More Good News.